as usual, we normally come with hot topics. And today, we have another one. And we don't need to waste time about it. And I have two gentlemen here, Nandi and Honorable. Nandi Lekwachi, you are here?
Yes, I'm here.
And Honorable, you are here yourself.
I agree too.
So, before we proceed, I just want to say something very serious here. And I want our viewers to pay attention to what we are going to do today. Because, you see, most times, our job here is more of a job of watchdog. We also have the role to play in terms of correcting the ills in society. We also have different roles, especially to call out government agencies when there is an assumption that they are not doing what they are supposed to do. We are not conceding to the fact that whatever the petition we are going to focus on today says that it is the written, but we are using it to call for investigation according to what the group who wrote it has said. So as we proceed, we have a petition on our desk today against the Greater Abia Development Authority. And I don't think the Greater Abia Development Authority needs introduction to anybody living in Abia or anybody in Abia State. So the petition, which is dated as 10th September, came from the coalition of civil society groups in Abia State. And they've written to the governor of the state to investigate the Greater Abia Development Authority over alleged extortion, impunity, lawlessness, and sabotage of the new Abia project. So I have no option than to read it out so that the viewers will understand before my panelists here will discuss it properly and educate us on it. So I now go straight to what they wrote. I've told you the title. The title is Petition against the Greater Abia Development Authority over alleged extortion, impunity, lawlessness, and sabotage of the new Abia project. And they call it a clarion call for urgent intervention and investigation to the governor, because the petition was actually addressed to the office of the governor, Dr. Otti. Now, the petition goes this way on the introductory part. We, the undersigned coalition of civil society groups in Abia State, write to Your Excellency with utmost respect and urgency to draw your attention to the incessant complaints and disturbing allegations against the Greater Abia Development Authority, Gada. Our coalition, comprised of several credible civil society groups, mobilized and stood firmly with you during the last election because we were convinced of your integrity, courage, and commitment to birthing a new Abia. In your first 2 years in office, you have demonstrated outstanding leadership and vision, earning the admiration and trust of Abians at home and abroad. It is precisely because of this trust that we cannot fold our arms while some government officials, under the cover of state institutions, undermine your legacy and sabotage the ease of doing business in Abia, the heartbeat of Abia's economy. Now they talk about another heading they call the background on Gada. Now they say that the Greater Abia Development Authority, Gada, was established by law on December 12, 2023 after its approval by the Abia State House of Assembly with the noble aim of providing focused development for Abia and enforcing compliance with urban development regulations. Now the second page of the petition goes this way. Unfortunately, instead of fulfilling this mandate, Gada, under its current leadership, has allegedly transformed into an instrument of terror, reckless extortion, and systemic sabotage against investors, residents, and business owners in Abia and its environs. Because recall that when we talk about the Abia and its environs in terms of Gada, we are talking about Abia North, Abia South, Obingwa, Osisiomangwa, and Ogunabo local governments. Get it very clearly. Now the third heading here says specific allegations against Gada. Number one thing they listed here is institutionalized extortion. And they said, Business owners in Abia are forced to pay exorbitant and arbitrary fines ranging from 300,000 naira to 1 million naira for various permits, in bracket, building, fencing, painting, registration, foundation laying, etc. They say that payments are often demanded into private bank accounts of staff of Gada rather than official government revenue account. This is a heavy allegation that they want the governor to look into. They are alleging that some people in Gada are using their private accounts to collect fines from residents that should have gone into government coffers. So it's left for the governor to investigate and prove whether this is true or not. They also accused Gada of lawlessness and disregard to court orders. They said that Gada has repeatedly ignored value court orders, forcefully selling business premises and confiscating properties without due process. Is another one. And they went on again to say that Gada uses thugs for intimidation. And he said, Gada employs touts and thugs who storm business premises with threats, physical intimidation, and illegal seizures of properties in the name of enforcement. Another point they raised is abandonment of core mandate. They said that rather than focusing on fiscal planning and development monitoring, Gada is now notorious for extortion-driven raids, seizures, and harassment of entrepreneurs in Abia. They also raised another allegation on corruption and compromise. And it goes this way. It is alleged that approval can be obtained once palms are greased, even for illegal structures in prohibited zones. Let me repeat. It is alleged that approvals can be obtained once palms are greased, even for illegal structures in prohibited zones. Senior officials are aware of these practices, but they take no corrective actions, thereby raising suspicions of complicity. This is another thing that needs to be investigated. Now, they now said there is a case study for these allegations. They said a case study, the ordeal of Unique D Limited. I think Unique D Limited is a company based here in Abia as well. And they said that the ordeal of Unique D Limited, an agribusiness and haulage company operating in Abia, provides a glaring example of Gada's alleged recklessness and abuse. Going further on that, they say that illegal collections into personal account, now linking it to Unique D and Gada. They said that on November 15, 2024 and December 23rd, 2024, Gada staff, a member of Gada staff, directed the company, that's Unique D Limited, to pay the sum of 140,000 naira and the sum of 50,000 naira respectively into a private account of a notable bank that was specified here. Even the name of the alleged staff is also here, and their account name and the account number, they are here on this petition on our table. It is also one further to say that on February 14, 2025, another Gada staff whose name is also on this petition and the bank accounts and the numbers boldly on this petition, which is why the governor needs to look into it, because when people are pointing fingers and being specific, it calls for serious attention. They said that this person used her personal account of a notable bank to collect the sum of 1 million naira from the same company, Unique D, which means this money did not go to government coffers as it ought to be. It went further to say that the issue of a use of thugs and illegal confiscation, they say that a non-thug, whose name was also written here, claiming to be with Osisioma Town Planning Authority because they work with Gada, invaded Unique D office at number 271 Abia Owerri Road with armed thugs. He carted away a generator set and cartons of ties, forcefully sealed the premises, and later detained staff and the managing director's wife without ventilation. They were only freed by the Abia Area Command of Nigerian Police. That is something that calls for serious investigation also. They now want to portray the issue of disobedience to court order on this part. They said, despite restraining orders by an Osisioma Magistrate Court, that is on June 16, 2025, Gada operatives under the same man mentioned above that sealed the premises returned with the police operative to reseal Unique D's property and arrest his workers unlawfully. Then I said there is a failure of leadership in Gada, which is another allegation that the governor needs to look into. He needs to look into this. They said that the company's petition to the Director General of Gada, who is a very well-known man in Abia, acknowledged on April 25th, 2024, was met with silence. The company wrote a petition to the leadership of Gada, to the DG of Gada, and this CSO is saying that that petition was met with silence. Instead of action, the DG allegedly shields the culpable staff and even signs bail bonds for them. Those ones whose accounts were involved in this were arrested as alleged, but they were freed. If no, these are allegations that the governor needs to look into. Now, they are saying that this pattern mirrors the notorious era of Timas. If those that are living about can recall the era of Timas, when a certain man, I think the name was Osama or something, was in charge of Timas, those in Abia will still recall what happened. So this CSO is saying that what Gada is allegedly doing is getting closer to that. They now say that whatever that is happening in Gada, according to them, has a broader implication. They say that the continuous excesses of Gada will discourage investors, force existing businesses to close or relocate, and erode the gains of the governor's reforms. Gada's actions are sabotaging your government's revenue drive, as funds meant for Abia State Treasury are diverted into private pockets. Most importantly, the criminal acts tarnish the image of your administration, pointing it as complicit in this very corruption you are fighting. They acknowledge that the governor is fighting corruption and needs to fight this. So that is part of their petition. They made a demand of what they call prayers. It must be stated clearly that the company is not in any way fighting or attacking the government, which is what I think I said while introducing this program, that the essence is just for it to be notified so that the government will look into it. Whenever issues like this are being pointed out, nobody should politicize it. It's something that the government can investigate. If Gada is innocent, the government can issue a release that this is false. If Gada is guilty, the government should look for those who are guilty in the agency and punish them. Because we can't be fighting corruption, we can't be fighting crime, and some people will be hiding under something to do anything. It is not, considering that whatever that is sitting here is true, but it calls for investigation. Let the investigation be done. Let those who are guilty be punished. Let those who are innocent be freed. Then I said again that in light of the above, we respectfully urge Your Excellency to order a thorough investigation into Gada, especially from the head to the bottom. When you're talking about the head, from the DG to whoever that is there. That is what they are saying here. Over allegations of extortion, abuse of office, and diversion of government funds. That's what they are saying. They also said that they call for audits on all private accounts, including those of those two persons that their names were listed in this brouhaha, into which business owners were directed to pay levies that were either diverted. So governors should take note of those two accounts. The accounts are here. If they want it in public, we'll make them public. I think our camera will capture it and show it so that people will see. Prosecute culpable staff and their collaborators, including thugs, which the name was also mentioned, for extortion, intimidation, and violations of citizens' rights. Restructure and reorganize Gada to ensure that it operates strictly within its legal mandates. Prohibit engagement of touts in government enforcement operation. That one is very, very important. Review Gada's processes, ensuring that demand notice are first served and the payment made by only verified government revenue account before any enforcement. Institute independent monitoring of Gada as activities. Another agency, that's like use another agency to, watch over what Gada is doing to bring sanity, accountability, and transparency. In conclusion, they say Sir Abba is the commercial heartbeat of Abia, and indeed the entire Southeast. If investors and entrepreneurs continue to face this level of hostility, intimidation, and systemic extortion, the dream of new Abia will be gravely undermined. We made this petition not to weaken your government, but to strengthen it by exposing those who, through their corrupt action, seek to discredit your legacy. As a civil society organization, we pledge our continued support to your administration and remain resolute partners in the quest to rebuild Abia and Abia State at large. We urge you to treat this matter with urgency and ensure that perpetrators are brought to justice and that Gada is repositioned to serve the people rather than terrorize them. This petition, as we got it, was signed by one comrade, Johnson Uzo Eme, coalition chairman, and Veronica Ijoma Nwogu as coalition secretary. That is the petition. Gentlemen, I know you are itching to speak something about this. Let's just go on break. By the time we return, you can now discuss it and let our people be educated on this. And we hope that the government will look at it, investigate it, punish the guilty, and free the innocent. Take viewers as we return. Viewers, you are welcome back, and just before we went on that short break, you all had the petition, and it is not something that does not need reaction. It needs serious reaction, and I think these gentlemen here will react to it. Gentlemen, before I get your reaction, or before you talk to our viewers, I want you to also know that on our table today are some pieces of evidence that these private account numbers, that some transactions that ought to go into government accounts were allegedly made. The accounts are here. The alleged dates of payments are also here. So we are not talking out of point. We are talking based on the papers available to us. So I know you have some reaction to this, and I'll start with you, Nnamdi. What's your reaction to this? Because it's a petition to the governor, and there are some pieces of evidence here.
Yes, I think what the Fed is alleging, is trying to establish, is that Gada is becoming a state within a state. And we must not watch as a creation of the law of Abia State, I think created and established on the 12th of December 2023. Gada came to be. So it is created by instrument of law and must be regulated. Whether there is statutory body or any ministry or whatever to control it, but Gada must be controlled. Are you following the point? Then, from what has been read here, and I want to commend you the way you took time to read this, from what has been read here, we are now seeing a lot of things, not just one crime, not even five. When you begin to expand, law is expansive.
Right.
We are seeing disobedience to court order. We are also seeing intimidation and extortion. And all these things are pointing to something. Now, ease of doing business. Governor Alex Chioma Otti established the Ease of Doing Business Council in Abia State. And I know the person, and I know people who are on the council. To do what? To promote investment. To make Abia investment friendly and business friendly. And then after that, we saw that Abia was ranking, or was actually ranked 33rd before. Abia came to 21, for which reason the governor said, we are doing this, trying to call investors to Abia. Activities and operations like this will render that hoax.
So are you supporting the government to investigate this?
I'm supporting the government not just to investigate, empanel an independent body to inquire into this. Also, the House of Assembly, I don't know why those ones have been very in fact, docile. They must also investigate this. They themselves created the law that established Gada. And why was it the Gada? We have other development authorities. We have in Umuahia. We have in Ohafia. According to the senatorial zones. Yeah. So why was it the Gada? Now, the implication is this. Abia is known for business. Abia is also known for commerce. Before now, we used to have industries. I follow the point. So if you're talking about investment climate is Abia. Or the climate for investment is Abia.
That's true.
I follow the point. So Governor Alex Otti must see to it. Petitions, the concerns and fears raised here are totally addressed, in fact, are addressed in their entirety.
All right, Nandi. Honorable Mr. Okay, let's get to you. It's a huge one. It's a petition. It's also an allegation, and Gada also have the right to tell their own part of this. We are open to anybody who is willing to say something or say what that this petition is not true. They are free. Our studio is open for them. But before that, let's hit on this. Do you think it is worth looking into by the governor?
The thing is, what is being alleged here is brazen lawlessness and riding roughshod over the heads of our people.
You know, as you were reading the petition and you mentioned the unique D, I recall I was in the hall on last Friday when the governor had the security summit.
Okay.
I recall that Unique D donated 1 million naira or thereabout, if I am not mistaken, to the governor's Abia State Security Trust Fund, just on Friday. So they are a good corporate entity in Abia that is contributing their quota, and the Unique D has been pulling their weight in Abia. It's unfortunate that this type of thing is coming. It's also unfortunate that there are names, and in this petition, it's also unfortunate that up to close to 1.3 million in funds that are supposed to accrue to the Abia State government are being paid into private accounts. It's very unfortunate. It's also unfortunate that we are talking about brazen disobedience to court orders to vacate the earlier court orders they got to seal the place, and the court orders were gotten to unseal the place, and we are hearing that maybe these things were just after a lot of pressure, maybe a day or two ago, that they were after pressure. So court orders that were gotten as far back as June, and they are implementing it in the middle of September. It is out of place. It is unacceptable. The governor has been doing well in the area of infrastructure, roads, and what have you. You cannot take it away from him. In the light of some of other allegations that have cropped up in the past, 54 billion and what have you, it is bad having and allowing this type of scandal to continue. This thing, I was telling somebody that this thing can escalate to even the national or international level. Because the fact that Abia is doing well now, the searchlight is on Abia State.
Of course.
So we cannot allow, the governor should look into this thing. It is not something that should be swept under the carpet. Whoever petitioned the governor did the right thing. And it's not as if anybody has been condemned or anything, but it is for the facts are there, the bank statements are there, showing transfers of 1 million, 150,000 and 40,000 or thereabout to private accounts. And if these people were able to say this one out, who knows what has been happening in the cases of other people that we are not, the Abia people are known for not speaking out. You know. So it is something the governor should look into fast and nip it in the bud. If not, it already this thing is not political propaganda. I want to say this. Because some of the people that may be attacking the governor in other aspects, somebody may turn it to be political. And the smart pieces of the government, the media aides of the governor have turned it political. If you are saying that 54 billion matter, brouhaha in the education sector is political.
It's not political. This one is something that has to do with a small and medium scale businessman doing his business and being said that people are now collecting money with private accounts.
Okay. And then it reminds me, you see, in Abia State, the governor actually promoted, in fact, there was this policy of TSA,
Treasury single accounts,
into which all revenues
of government
of government must be paid.
So if a private person is providing accounts, it calls for serious
investigation. That's number one. Then number two, the government must be careful. This is not the first time Gada is disobeying court orders. I remember the case of Enimba TV and Radio Limited, where there was an issue. Gada stormed there. There was also a court order saying, do not seal. Gada went there to say, to allege that works were still ongoing. I have that matter. I followed it. I have the case, the suits number and then all of that. But I think, like I was saying before, Gada should not become a state within a state. Are you following the point? There are other development authorities. And there are areas to look at. We should also ask what is their mandate. We are having problem in like Obohe and some part of Ungwaro. We are having urban sprawl. Where you no longer, in fact, that place is, those areas are congested. We've lost those areas.
Are you saying they are turning into urban slum?
That's what they are, urban slums.
Okay.
Go to Obohe, you don't deal with plan. And I'm talking about planning, where you have town or physical planning, where you say this area maybe walkway, this place greenery, this place is for this, maybe you side school here, you don't build this here, and no planning. And we are hearing about this now. For a government that has been talking about ease of doing business, promoting investment, what does this do? If not to smear the damage.
The signal is self.
Yeah, and now see, the government has actually convened a lot of groups. We know about Abia State's investment advisory council, the one you have Aruma Otti and the rest. We also talk about the public-private partnership and the investment promotion office.
Agency the government is trying to use to lure businesses, because at some point businesses left Abia and the Abia State for insecurity and for whatever. Now you are trying
for this type of thing,
for this extortion. Yes. Now you are bringing them back. This is counterproductive.
Right.
So it needs to be interrogated.
Right.
And like I said, investigated. The House of Assembly must do something this time around.
All right, okay. Let me point something out now, because I think we are almost coming to the
I want to say something. From what you said, during that Abia Security Trust fundraising at the Abia Sports Club,
Yes.
we saw great entrepreneurs and business moguls in this city supporting the governor on the issue of security.
Yes.
And the company in question, the CEO was there.
In person.
I recall.
He
He was not the only one there.
Yes.
A lot of companies in Abia, their CEOs were there. And they were supportive. And they have been supportive. Why? Because they believe in the leadership of the current government.
It was stated there.
And now, assuming, but not conceding,
Yes.
that this petition and whatever that was said here is the reality.
I want you all to, both of you, to tell us the serious implication of this to future investment in this city.
When we are hitting on this type of thing, I'm not saying that only governal associates should look at this. Even Abia residents should look at issues like this and know that when one company dies in this city, a lot of people have been placed unemployed. Many people are unemployed already since we had the Liver Brothers and many companies that left here. If we start punishing indigenous investors like this, and they see this as I can't continue.
What is if you cannot be welcoming, if you cannot be friendly with indigenous or local investors, what are you going to do with foreign investors? What are you going to do?
It calls for something. One, the mandate, like I said before, of Gada must be made known. We must know where their right starts
Their bounds.
and where it ends in situations like this. Two, if businesses or if we should experience capital flight or even businesses will live in droves, do you know what that means? That you here have said unemployment, but that will also increase crime. Because the unemployed will always form an army, recruitable army, or elements of terror. Willing tools.
I think the ministry, I don't know, even the Ministry of Works, even the Ministry of Trade, there needs to be an interagency or even a platform.
Interministerial.
Yes, interagency.
And beyond that, I don't even want to be too academic about it.
Yes.
In fairness to the governor has been very, very responsive about anything that comes to his table.
And I want to believe and I want to pray that this one will not be different. Because this thing is a very big debt. We are talking about businesses that have shown that they are in support of what is happening, the good things that are happening, and you are shutting them down. There should be serious orientation for these Gada people. Apart from whatever intervening, this type of matter, heads should roll.
Are you saying that
There are allegations that
with human face?
Apart from human face, the money should go to their treasury simple account, for goodness sake.
Okay.
This man has tried to show us that sanity has come into the system.
And he's willing to
pay.
pay.
A situation where people are coming with their personal account to collect millions of naira in their personal account using ID card of Gada is unacceptable. The governor should look into it. The governor should look into it. If not, it's going to create serious problems.
All right.
And it's going to also give his political enemies, because I don't believe we need to politicize everything. These are the type of things that when his political enemies here, they latch on it and begin to create unnecessary bad press.
This is bad. This is very, very bad and unacceptable. I want to believe that in the next few days, governor will respond to it. If they have bad eggs in Gada, they should fish them out. And Gada is, because, like he said, Gada is almost becoming a law unto itself. A state within a state, like he said. They should know that they are not put to run offshore over the people's heads. Yes, people have won election and people have lost election. Abia is not a conquered territory.
Somebody to intimidate and harass and extort from people anyhow they like.
All right.
We have come to the end of today's hot talk. And
From the beginning, we made it very clear. This is not victimization. This is just to say what has been said and to also let the governor of Abia State know that it's a petition on his table that needs response of the people. Abia is a business town. Abia is a commercial town. Abia is the pride of Abia, and Abia is the pride of the Southeast. If anything goes wrong here, the Igbo man is in trouble. We are calling our people to come back and invest. Akurulo, akurulo, akurulo. If we get it wrong, if we get Abia wrong, we can't bring investors down to this place again. Thank you, and we believe that the government will do the right thing. God bless you all.